It is finally spring, and for those of us who enjoy gardening and are passionate about growing our own food, this means it's time to drop seeds, whether it's indoors, and in my case, getting started in my greenhouse. So I just want to show you this footage that I took over the winter months and how this held up with all the wind, the snow, the ice, and how this AmeriLife 6 by 12 by 7 feet greenhouse was able to withstand the elements being out here in my zone. Now, to be honest, I had concerns about the stability of this and how it would hold up. However, I was willing to risk it, but to know what would happen and how this would hold up, I had to actually try it. I had to do it. As you can see, the wind was quite a bit for the windows, and let me go indoors to show you. I just have the windows sitting in here in the greenhouse with all my junk from last gardening season. It's going to be cleaned up in the spring. The door was also broken, as you can see, that inner piece, and that's just like hard plastic. So the inner piece got broken out. The windows are out, and I left them out because there was no use in putting them back, installing them. And that's a piece right here. It's no good, so we're going to have to come up with some type of remedy to reinforce that door and make it functional for us to use for garden season this year. There's no point in trying to put it back together because it's literally broken off, and I wouldn't want to put that sort of weak material back in that position to have to redo this all over again. And you know, with all these challenges, I didn't expect a perfect greenhouse. I just wanted a greenhouse that worked for what I was doing and what I had planned. And hopefully I get to benefit from this investment for as long as I possibly can. All right, now even though we had an issue with the windows, the roof panels stayed in place. And I truly believe it's because hubby siliconed them in when we installed this greenhouse last year. And I must say that worked out pretty well. And if you look here, you can see all the silicone, all the residue from it, but that worked out really well because that kept it in place. Now the issue I have with these panels here, guys, and as you can see, the roof panel is completely different from the siding panels, but look at this. See all the broken down, I don't even know what to call it, and we did not have any hail. I'm not sure what really happened here, but a few of the panels does have this sort of damage on it. I'm not sure if it's from ice damage or what, but to me, you know, it held up pretty well except for the strength of that roof panel. And the side panels did really well. It's just this one panel that kept coming out of the groove right here, and we just put a pallet up against it, and that kept it in place because it was so cold outside and we didn't want to be out there doing any work. But we are going to get with it and get it ready for spring. And all this is just to get into the groove, maybe put some silicone or drill a hole in the aluminum to keep that panel in place. I mean, the damage on the roof panel, even though it's minimal, you know, I still would rather that this was able to go through an entire season, an entire year, even the winter months, and remaining intact. I mean, just for that one, at least the first year. Now, would I buy this greenhouse again? Now, here's the thing. I was able to bring my plants out early, get my starts going early, because in Zone 6B, we absolutely have a very short season. And for the amount that I grow every year, I think this greenhouse worked very well for us for the first season at least. We're going to have it for another season, even though we have damages to it. The base of it, we were able to stabilize that properly. The flooring of it, as you can see, we dumped wood chips in there. It's a mess, so don't mind the mess now, but this is all going to break down, and maybe eventually whether I decide to plant in-ground in here or remove this and use it as mulch or so to enhance my soil, maybe in planters or even in raised beds. Either way, this whole system here worked great for us. So the short answer to this is yes, I will absolutely spend the money again and buy this greenhouse. So guys, let me take you and show you the update of this. We did, well, hubby did. I was here with him. We did put a couple screws in here to keep this panel in place. All we did was get it back in the groove, and with the wind, this is fine. It holds it in place. It's not flopping around and it's not jumping out of the groove here. The windows, we place them right back in. And I'm going to show you. All right, let's see if I can open this up. So this is just temporary. So this is going to have to work for now. He also drilled this and put a screw on. So when I want to go in here, I just take the screw out, open it up, and place the screw right back on. Sorry about my ashy hands. So when it's time to close this door back, I just take the screw up and line it up here and put the screw on the outside, because this is broken, doesn't work anymore. Now for the windows, they're in place, as you can see. And this is what hubby did. It's still temporary because we haven't figured it out yet, but he just simply tied it onto this shelf right here, so the wind cannot, this is heavy, so it's difficult for the wind to open this up, lifting it and removing it out of the groove up top. So this one is also in place with a string, which is also temporary, because guess what, your girl's already got her starts going. I even put tomatoes out here already, guys, and this is March. I have to water these, and they need some water, but most of these is just brassicas. I started them indoors and I brought them out in the greenhouse once it started to warm up a bit. And I mean, March is still cold for things like peppers and tomatoes, but for some herbs they thrive well. This is pink celery in here. This is brassicas, bunch of brassicas. All back here is my brassicas, and I did put some tomatoes out here already, and some ginger. In all these cups, they are my ginger. All this is ginger, and they're starting to sprout. So it's not freezing in here as such, but it gets very cold at nighttime. But so far so good. I do have some tomato plants still indoors, but for the simple fact that I can get started on my gardening, get my starts going early. I do have a bunch of starts indoors also, but mainly the brassicas I wanted to take out because they can handle more of the cooler weather. And these are all from seeds, but for the simple fact that I can actually come out here earlier in the season and lengthen my season and get my starts going, get food going early in the season, so that I can have a decent amount of food produced here. I just think this greenhouse is absolutely worth it. There's not a whole lot going on in here now because, like I said, it's still early, and I really don't want to get carried away, because I already did get carried away, and I have tomatoes in here. I do have some also growing inside, but I just wanted to test it out and see how well it would do. So if you're planning on getting a greenhouse, this is my experience here in Zone 6B with this type of greenhouse. Hopefully by me sharing this, people can get an idea on how, you know, things might hold out for them if they were to buy one of this type greenhouse. Let me just, and I would say it was absolutely worth it for us to invest in this, because it does a lot. It helps us grow a lot of food in here, and I'm happy with it. Hopefully it holds up for a good amount for another few years at least. This is all for now. If you have any questions, any comments, any suggestions, please leave it in the comment section below. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next upload. Don't be afraid. If you're thinking about getting a greenhouse, go for it. I think it's worth the experience. because my experience won't be the same as yours. Generally, we worry about losing too much, but in life, sometimes a loss is just a win. Thanks for watching.